Hey there, Buns! I'm Lily, and it's time for an indie review. Before continuing our review, I will issue a content warning for domestic violence, shocking deaths, and suicide. Before continuing, please keep this information in mind and click away now if you know this content is not for you.
Bark Bark Games' House, released October 30th, 2020, has absolutely captivated me. Players are given zero direction and a race against the clock, creating an experience that is both anxiety-inducing and yet enthralling. The player is left at the edge of their seat as they try new strategies to successfully save their family from imminent doom or murder them all one by one. House is a mystery that begs the player to unpack its secrets, some answers found only in failure. You play as Tabby, the youngest daughter, in an oversized green sweater with a blank stare that feels either entirely devoid of or drowning in multitudes of emotion. Her older sister, Melody, is distant and melancholy, and the player's first clue that he has done something unforgivable. The girl's mother seems normal, but closer observation will reveal she is hiding secrets in the parents' room, nailing the bedroom door shut to keep the girls out. If the house doesn't destroy you, at midnight you will meet Father. I find House is one of the more unique experiences in the horror genre. You are given the choice to be the hero or the monster, but you have to make your choice immediately. And I do mean immediately. The clock is arguably our true villain, the player unable to stop for even a moment lest the ghouls of the house sabotage your efforts, whether for or against the well-being of your family. The deaths are shocking, not just in imagery, but in the way death awaits in some of the most unsuspected places. If you want to advance to the end, you'll have to get creative with the objects afforded you on your gruesome quest. Unpacking the secrets of House requires patience and attention to detail. Characters offer limited and cryptic dialogue, and those who will offer the most insight will be hiding in the darkest parts of the house, some requiring several playthroughs to find by design. While there is yet to be a straightforward answer as to what created the darkness of House, analyzing its clues to unravel the mystery is half the intrigue. House offers about 4 different endings, the last and possibly truest ending available only after unlocking the previous 3. Despite having multiple endings, however, none of them necessarily are more correct than the others. It feels as though Tabby and her family are trapped in a time loop, and even after the final ending, the game will continue to start and restart the events over and over again. This is a clever way to allow players infinite replayability while also creating further intrigue as to the reality of Tabby's world. As for gameplay, House is rather simple. You run from each part of the map collecting items to help you unlock other rooms or protect you from the evils lurking in every corner. Speed is key when it comes to House and is a skill you will only be able to enhance after several deaths. Don't fret. This is an intended feature. Your playthroughs will improve with every game over. The objects you collect will not always seem very useful. Creativity or trial and error will be the best way for players to learn the uses of each item, and discovering how you can use them will always feel satisfying. House's soundtrack is simple, childlike, and haunting. It creates a sense of monotony and unease as Tabby paces through the halls. And as the daylight hours fade into night, the eerie humming takes over to show you what lurked there in the house unseen. The tracks remind me of works by Boards of Canada or songs used by David Firth in his Salad Fingers series. They somehow contain the feeling of youth burdened by the darkest parts of reality that should not have been meant for them. A horror that I found quite familiar to my own experiences and to my own memories of childhood. Outside of gameplay, the community around House is rich with fan art often shared by the devs themselves on their social media, and the story begs players to analyze and discuss the possible messages or backstory. Bark Bark Games is, as of date of recording, preparing the 1.4 version update, which will include achievements, new characters, optional content, and much more. House is a complete game as is, but with every update comes additional features that add more depth, more questions, and unending reasons to replay. Overall, I would recommend House to anyone who enjoys a horror game that prompts questions and analysis. With more content on the way, players can have endless discussion and string together theories to answer the question, what is House?
I think about this game a lot, and I'm always checking the Steam page for updates on the next version from the devs. Games that allow me to put the pieces together are so interesting to me. I love any kind of game that can leave me thinking about it for hours after completion, or even just stepping away for a few minutes, just trying to figure out what's going on with the family, each of the characters, what's metaphorical, what's literal. That to me makes this game such a fun experience. I really enjoy looking for clues in the environment, in the interactions, in the dialogue, and House honestly gives me all of that, whether it's very simply or very subtly. I find all of these pieces to a puzzle that I have to unravel, and for me that just makes this game so intriguing, so interesting, and it always calls me back to it. And that's what makes House such a wonderful game. The fact that you can play it, you can finish it, and still be left with so many questions and thoughts and things to ponder. The game begs you to keep playing and to keep thinking about it. And of all the indie titles released in 2020, I do really enjoy this. I think it's one of the better ones, and I do think that anybody who's a fan of indie or horror games would really enjoy this, and I really recommend you give it a run. So that's all for today's video. If you liked it, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up, hitting the subscribe button, hitting that like button. If you'd like to see more content like this and you made it to the end of the video, please comment below what your favorite indie titles are or what your favorite horror titles are. If you like indie or RPG games, you can catch me playing them live on Twitch at username lully__bunny. That's 2 underscores. You can also keep up with me on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. All links will be available below. And until next time, I'll be seeing ya. Bye-bye.